Now we will discuss about the sociological basis of education. As the name indicates, sociology is concerned with the society, and society and school both have close relationship. In what way? The first unit of education is family, because under the guidance of parents, child receives the education, and that education is not in the form of formal education, but it is informal education. Say for example, mother is saying that get up early in the morning, trained toilet training, another kind of food habits, study habits. Please pay attention when someone is coming, you pay regards by joining the hands or by saying the salam. So these are the kind of training that mother gives to the child at home. So the first education a child receives from the family. After that, when he goes to the school, now the relationship between school and society starts. Whatever the society demands, school has to fulfill it, because the students, those who are getting education in the school, they have to move to the society after getting or after completing the education, and they are the socially productive citizen of the society. They have to work in the society. So the society and school both have a very close relationship. Just imagine a student who is not having education that is beneficial for the society and that is not related to the society, what will happen? The student will confine to him in the family also, in the family only. So, making the student beneficial for the society, it is very essential that the curriculum should be correlated with the society, and that we study in the sociological basis of education. The sociological basis of curriculum are the social factors that influence the design of the curriculum. Social factors, what are the social factors? That is social needs, social demands, social aspiration, and a kind of immediate needs there may be, and ultimately the adjustment in the society. These all are the social factors that we have to fulfill through our curriculum. The sociological basis of curriculum is important because education is a process of transmitting culture. School also transmit the culture from one generation to the another. And what kind of culture is in the school? That always pay regards to the elders and interact with the your peer group, and a kind of textbook that they provide the cultural and heritage of all the Indian society. So the sociological basis of curriculum is important because education is a process of transmitting culture. We transmit our culture from one generation to another with the help of education. We also introduce the students with the cultural heritage, with the culture that our Indian leaders adopted, and the culture that we have carry on in our family and ultimately to the society. The curriculum should help the students to prepare for life in society and shape their capabilities for social engagement and human development. So, the curriculum is only the tool that help the students to learn about the values, to learn about the culture, and ultimately these all prepare the students for the life. In what manner? That what you are doing in the school, that you have to show in the society also, and now you are preparing yourself for the society. Any course, you just see any course, say for example B.Ed. B.Ed is for prospective teachers are there. What we are teaching them? Sociology, we are teaching them psychology, we are teaching them philosophy of education. So the three subjects that are related to the education, we are teaching them in the form of philosophical foundation of education, sociological foundation of education, psychological foundation of education. Why we are teaching all these? Because these all are needed in the school where they will go for the teaching. And these all trainings, these all courses that are being run in the educational institutions have relevance with the society directly or indirectly, because we have to prepare our students for adjustment in the society. So, what the sociological basis of education depicts? The curriculum should help the students to prepare for life in the society and shape their capabilities for societal engagement. As per the capability of the students serve the society. Say for example, a student, medical students getting training in medical college, and after qualifying and getting degree, he is going to the society for the welfare of the society, and he extend his services in the form of medical services. So these are the way in which we connect the school with the society, and we connect with the higher education with the society, and we connect the education of any child with the society. So ultimately goal of education is to prepare the students, those who can do something new, unique as per the demands of the society. So they do all the activities to extend their services to the society as per their capabilities. As per their capabilities means those who have chosen the medical education, those who have chosen the engineering education, those who have chosen the other kind of professions, they all are doing for the welfare of the society. What does an engineer do? Engineer prepares unique tools. An engineer prepares a kind of different kind of softwares. Computer engineer prepares different kind of softwares. Mechanical engineers prepares different kind of mechanical machines. So what is the purpose of these all? Just to serve the society. Fridge, cooler, other kind of resources that we have in the home, all have been prepared by our good engineers, and they are extending their services to the society. So what is needed here? The need is that the curriculum that is being run by the higher education system, it should be correlated with the societal needs. That is sociological basis of education. Few sociological aspects intervene in the process of curriculum development: cultural beliefs, social expectations, values, norms and traditions. Say for example, curriculum development, cultural beliefs, because we are having lot of states and there is diversity in cultural beliefs, there is diversity in social expectation, there is diversity in norms and traditions, but overall we all are one, and there is diversity. We have observed where there is unity in diversity. So intervening variables that come in the process of curriculum is that that the state-wise we differ in our expectation and we differ in our values, norms and traditions, but overall the common goal of education is to prepare the students for the society and to prepare the students to do something unique and something new for the society, or in other words, whatever or what kind of education you have received from higher education system, higher education institutions, you have to serve your society. Although the cultural beliefs, the expectations, values, these all differ from one state to another, but we are one by heart and we are one in our emotions, and we can say that we are Indian students and we are Indians, that we are having only the purpose to serve our Indian society. Sociological basis of curriculum is essential for understanding the societal structures, inequalities and power dynamics, which are essential for creating an inclusive and relevant educational system. See, sociological basis of curriculum is also essential for understanding the societal structure. What is the structure of the society? How it has been divided into different communities? What are the beliefs of different communities? What are the culture, what are the values being followed by other communities? And inequalities, that is some kind of not equal in terms of economic power, in terms of educational literacy rate and other factors that make a difference between two communities. One is enriched, one is not enriched, one having the profession business, another having the communication, another having another kind of profession, that is service and going to the office. They are serving to the community in other terms, but the business class also extending their services to the society. So the inequalities are there, and certain kind of discrimination is also there, disparity is also there, and power dynamics means what kind of government is this, who is responsible to administer the social structure. These all differs from one community to the another, and we try to understand these all disparities, these all inequalities, these all differences with the help of the curriculum, and we try to include these all factors in our curriculum also. So, for inclusive society, that is considering the needs of all the communities, we prepare the curriculum. We are not preparing the curriculum for every society separately, no. We consider the common goals of the Indian society and we try to include all the considering all the needs and aspiration of all the Indian citizens in the curriculum, and try to make an inclusive classroom where we are able and where we are capable to provide the education to all and one and all. We provide education to one and all, and relevant education system in the sense that if the student is getting education in South India and going to the North India, capable of doing work and having a common education that is relevant in South India as well as in the North India. Similarly, in case of communities, if there is a division of communities in terms of caste, religion and other kind of differences, but the student is able to serve the society, Indian society, in terms of this education that he received from the higher education institutions. It provides a way of carrying out changes in the behavior of the students as per the needs and demands of the society. So, whatever he receives the education in the education institution, there is change in the behavior of the students as per the need and demands of the society, and he behaves, that is related to outcome based education, that the learning behavior or the outcome behavior of the learner is as per the need of the society and as per the demand of the society. So, there is no difference in any kind of differences in terms of community, in terms of society, in terms of caste, religion, no. We have common goal of education that we have to provide to our students, and we try to observe in the behavior of the students also. So, the sociological basis of curriculum is always concerned with the society, and the main purpose of this sociological basis is to provide the education as per the need, as per the demand of the society, and as per the capability of the students also. What does he can do best? Provide the education accordingly and give them chance to serve the society. The main purpose of sociological foundation of curriculum is to preserve the culture and transmit it to the students also. I told you that whatever the students are receiving education in the classroom, we always try to keep the balance between different kind of differences that exist in the classroom, and try to provide inclusive education to all, because diversity and other kind of factors that differs one person to the another, that should also be considered as a unity in diversity. So, sociological bases are very important, and they are having main expectation from the society, what the society expects from our teachers, what the society expects from our students, what the society expects from the higher education institutions. These all factors are having a significant place in curriculum planning. Now we come to the psychological foundations of curriculum. Psychological foundations of curriculum is concerned with the learners' needs, learners' potential, learners' capabilities, and learners' choices and learners' interest also. Because the psychology deals the learner's nature, age group, gender, these all we consider while framing the curriculum planning. The question is that why do we consider these all? The answer is obvious, very clear, that every individual differ from another individual. Two individuals are not alike. दो लोग एक से नहीं होते. That's why we consider capabilities, potential, and other kind of factor of all individual, and we have to provide education as per the need of the child. So, the psychological foundation of curriculum is the study of how the mind, behavior, and thought impact learning and teaching. What kind of teaching is suitable for one learner, and what kind of teaching is suitable for the another learner? What are the strategies through which a learner can learn, and what is the learning process through which the learning takes place? These all we consider under the head of psychological foundations of curriculum. The psychological foundations in curriculum development focuses on understanding individual development and learning. What are the stages of development of a child, how the child develops, and how a child can learn as per their own pace, and how the learning theories works in the process of learning. These all we also consider in psychological foundations of curriculum. Psychological foundation of curriculum also emphasizes understanding the relationship between stimuli and responses in learning. What kind of stimulus we provided and what kind of response is there, these all are being considered under the head of psychological foundation. There are 5 areas of psychological functioning: social and emotional dimensions, context and learning, and assessment. So, what is the social context? What we are providing, what kind of students are there, their age group, their IQ, and other kind of differences that exist in the curriculum, that exist in the inclusive classroom, we consider it. Emotional dimensions, that is learning through heart, and what kind of emotions are uh, required for concerned with the connected with the lesson that is likely to be taught by the teacher in the classroom, and in which context we are teaching the also the learning theories that gives different kind of ideas for understanding the learning process. And assessment, that is what they have learnt, what is outcome in the behavior of the students. These all are considered under the head of psychological foundations of curriculum. And for planning of curriculum, it is very essential that we should include these all. Many experts identify 5 main schools of thought. Behaviorism, we study about the learning theories in the school of behaviorism. Cognitivism, that is related to cognitive abilities. Constructivism, that say that the mental processes run in the brain, and after that learner construct something to that is useful for the learning process. Experientialism, that is through senses, through the activity, that is experiential learning, that was given by our national father of nation Mahatma Gandhi, that that the learning can take place for longer time if the experiences are provided through senses. So, the experiential kind of learning is also provided through um, this school of experientialism. And social contextual learning theories that we study inside theory, we study about the Ausubel's learning theory, and so many theories are there that provide a base for the learning process. To understand the role of psychology in curriculum, one must understand that it puts emphasis on the organizing of ideas, which helps the students to develop the skills to identify the relationships and improve their skills. So, in case in the psychological foundation of curriculum, one must understand that it puts emphasis on the organizing of ideas, which helps the students to develop the skills to identify the relationship and improve their skills. What is relationship between the different components of learning, and how can we improve the skills of the learner? These all are considered under the head of psychological foundation of curriculum planning. The next one is technological basis of curriculum. As you know that the technology is very important for the advancement of knowledge. Every work we are doing with the help of computer, and it easy to do work through computer in comparison to the paper pencil resources that we always used in past days, but now the fashion is to use, to fill the data, to analyze the data, and to interpret and to conclude. Everything is so easy that we are not following the past practices. So the technological basis of curriculum provide a kind of technical support to the curriculum, and it is very essential, as I told you, that technical advancement is saying that you must learn the technical processes, because without knowing these all you can't give justice to your academic work and your office work also. So this is the basis, technical basis, that we provide a significant place in curriculum planning. The technological foundation of curriculum is the use of technology to support teaching and learning in a variety of ways. So the technical support is very essential for the learning. If a teacher is delivering a lecture orally, what will be its impact on the students? The impact will be that the students are getting bored and the students are not paying attention, and sometimes it happens that you are asking and they are not replying. But when there is projector, you are showing the concepts, you are presenting your views on the screen, the students are observing very carefully and taking interest. Sometimes they are laughing, sometimes they are smiling, sometimes they are interacting with the peer group. So these responses that we observe while teaching through the technical support says to us that technological basis of curriculum are very important, and that should be considered in curriculum planning. So technology can be used to create new ways for students to learn. A teacher can present the content in n ways of manner. Number of ways we can use to present our lessons. Say for example, we are showing any concepts through the these cartoons, we are showing through the certain kind of signals, we are showing it through the different kind of stories, and we are showing it through the different kind of scenario. So your creativity, that is teacher's creativity, is very essential in this aspect, because the technical support always provide or always develop an interesting scenario in the classroom, and it gives a positive impact on the brain of the student also. Whatever the students learn, the learning remains in the mind for longer time and always pleasurable and joyful. So technical basis of curriculum has a unique place and a unique kind of um, relevance in the curriculum planning. And you also know that the project based activities, online games and web based projects, these give different kind of experiences to the students. Project based activities, that the students are doing their work with own capabilities, with own interest, and they are trying to search the answer of the problem provided in the project based activities. So online they learn through the Google, and they search whatever they want to know, and Google searching, and there are so many articles, there are so many writings from the experts and learned people. So the students try to learn with own capabilities and with own potential. Online game is very familiar, and we are making the researches on gamification. Gamification means how the students learn through different kind of games, and what effect these games having in the learning process, and what kind of changes be observed in outcome behavior of the learner in comparison to the traditional way of teaching. Web-based projects, these we have different kind of portals, we have different kind of apps, and we try to learn through these apps, and we try to give even our message with the help of these apps. So, we are writing it on the paper in past practices, we are writing on the paper, then we are conveying our message, but these all have been translated in the computer language, and so many apps are there. We have studied this Nearpod, we have studied podcast, and a lot of apps are there that providing a kind of enjoyable and joyful learning to the students. So, the curriculum planning, we keep in mind that what kind of resources are able and what kind of technical support will be provided by the teacher to the student, such kind of planning should be there, and it should be given important place in curriculum planning. So, technology can be used to help young students build fundamental skills such as maths, spelling and reading. In case of language, we are having this pronunciation improvement, and we having different kind of softwares through which we try to improve the reading ability of the students, and we try to make them strengthen in their mathematical skills, and we are trying to strengthen their skills in other subjects also. So, these technical support always provide a positive effect in the learning process. Technology can be used to facilitate communication between student and teachers. Say for example, if you are showing any kind of lesson with the help of this projector, it will be very easy to get the answer from the students in comparison to the oral mode. When you are delivering orally, the responses are not good, and responses sometimes we are not getting responses from the side of the students. There is silence in the classroom. But in case of technical support, if you are providing to your lesson, you will get a very good answers from the students. So, a live environment is there, and a kind of conducive environment is there, joyful environment is there, and pleasurable kind of learning is there. So, the technical support always have a special kind of impact during learning process, and curriculum planners always keep in mind that we should give space to this technological basis while planning the curriculum. Now, this technology can be used to facilitate communication between students and teachers, as well as between students from different locations also. So, that is the blended learning. You can make a contact with the students of other university, and at your own place you are sitting here connecting yourself to the other university, you are getting the idea that in what way they are being going through this learning process. So, these all kind of different locations, online lecture, say for example, there is webinar, no one is going here and there. From home, you can deliver the lecture, and you can and the learners also able to get the education at their home, and no one is going here and there. So therefore, so many troubles in traveling, and so many expenses, and so many difficulties going one place to another, these all have been removed and all have been minimized by the technological basis of curriculum. So, technology has a great place. I must say that technology has a relevant, significant and dominating role while planning the curriculum. So, technological inputs should be given while planning the curriculum, and space should be given for a teacher that he can utilize the technological devices in delivering the lecture in the classroom. Technology can be used to process administrative and assessment data. Say for example, a principal can observe what is going on in the classrooms. So, everywhere there is cameras, and uh, it is connected with the principal's room. A principal can observe that what the teachers are doing, what the students are doing, and who is at the gate, who entered in this school, and another kind of complaints if there are, he can observe in the camera. And these administrative processes are also very um, important role in the this educational process. So, administrative duties can also be fulfilled by the administrators in easy and comfortable way. Assessment data means that from the side of the teachers, what kind of performance they have in the classroom. It is also stored in the cameras, also stored in the other kind of technical machines, and what the students are doing, what they have done, these all are all the data is in Excel sheet, and at the time of parent teacher meeting everything is shown to them. So, there is transparency in education process. What the student is doing in the classroom, it has been noted by the teacher in the records, and it can be shown to the parents, and it can be taken to considering the grading of the students also, and for the promotion of the students also. And sometimes there are so many functions in the school, so who is capable of lecturing the speech on 15th of August, and who is the monitor of the classroom, who should be giving the responsibility to look to provide help to the weak students. So, there are so many duties, so many situations are there in the classroom that all can be given a kind of important place passing through this technological support of curriculum, because everything is recorded, everything is analyzed, everything is interpreted, and everything is concluded in a scientific process. So, there is no subjectivity, but there is a kind of objective process that gives a answer of the questions raised by different stakeholders. So, in administrative and assessment data, and in other process, this technological support gives an important kind of information to the principal, to the teacher, and to the parents also. Technology of education deals with systematic application of the resources of scientific knowledge, of the processes of learning that each individual has to pass through in order to acquire and use knowledge. So, technological resources are also helpful in, in getting the scientific knowledge of the processes of learning that each individual has to pass through in order to acquire and use knowledge. So, we can say that these kind of technical support is beneficial for providing the education, beneficial to analyze the data, beneficial to know about the performance of the everyone, and to know what kind of teaching is going on in the classroom. Is there need to improve these kind of learning, or what kind of new learning can be provided to the classroom. So, these all kind of answers we can get by using these technological techniques in the classroom. These also minimize the work of teacher. Say for example, if a teacher is doing every work with the help of the paper pencil, that takes time, and it needs certain kind of special skills in the students, that in what way it is likely to be written, in what way it is likely to be present. But in technological way, when we are using the technological devices, these all become easy, comfortable, and they reduces the burden of the teacher also. Only the need is that the teacher should learn the skill, that is technical skills, how to fill the Excel sheet, how to present the lesson in creative way, how to ask the questions to the students when we are using these technical devices in the classroom, and how can we give a kind of special kind of experiences to the students also. So these are related to learning experiences. So the only need is that the teacher should learn the technical skills, and as and when they are using rapidly this kind of teaching in the classroom, so they will be equipped with the technical skills. So technological basis of curriculum is need of the hour, and without going through these technological processes, without knowing the technical skills, we can't give justice to our academic work also. So this is very important for every teacher to learn these all about. So the technological support has made the teaching learning process faster as well as easier to both the teachers and learners. Learners are also very comfortable. They are going through the different apps and they are trying to learn it. And in the classroom, a teacher is saying everything, every concept once, but in case of technological devices, they can pause it again and again, stop it when they are busy somewhere, again open the video, and you may go through these all. So these videos, and the same this program MOOCs, that is massive open online courses, are also reflecting the same spirit, that the learner is at ease, learner is comfortable, and whenever he wants they can open these videos and can listen what the teacher is saying. So these all technological basis has made the learning more easier, more comfortable, and more joyful also. So these all about the philosophical basis, psychological basis, sociological basis, and technological basis. On conclusion, I can say that in philosophical foundation of curriculum, we have learnt that what is the belief of the person and what is the kind of faith and what kind of philosophy of a of the time when the different kind of philosophies, that is idealism, naturalism, pragmatism, and realism were propounded. So the beliefs at that time differs from one philosophy to the another, and similar was the input giving to the education system. So in philosophical basis of curriculum, we have studied that what kind of philosophies were came into existence, and as per the belief of the philosophy, the education system was structured. We have studied about the objectives of that different philosophies. We have studied the teaching methods, we have studied curriculum, we have studied discipline and other kind of beliefs and other kind of differences in different philosophies, that is idealism, naturalism, pragmatism, and realism. In idealism, we give importance to the self-realization, and naturalism, we give importance to the nature, outer nature, created by the God and the students learners nature, and freedom was giving more important here. And in case of pragmatism, the practical approach it was, and experimentation was giving more importance in comparison to the other kind of subjective knowledge. In case of realism, the importance was given to the object, and object was considered as a primary source for the education, for getting the education. So in that way these philosophies differs, and as per their beliefs they have structured the education process. Similarly, in case of sociological foundation of curriculum, we have studies that what are the expectation, what are the need, what are the demands of the society. As per the needs and other factors, social factors, we structured and we plan the curriculum so that the students, those who are learning in the educational institutions, they may give benefit to the society and can adjust himself in the society as per the duty, as per the responsibility assigned by the society. In case of psychological foundation of curriculum planning, we have learnt that the two individuals are not alike. We all differ in our potential, in capabilities and in IQ and other psychological factors, and as per the psychology of the learner, we have to provide the educational plan just to flourish every individual, because we have to consider everyone in the classroom, and so the classroom is in the form of inclusive classroom environment. Our Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji also says that सबका साथ सबका विकास, हमें सबको साथ लेके चलना है और सबका विश्वास भी लेना है. So these kind of education that provide flourish and that flourish every individual with the help of educational process is the important for us, and we should give these all factors an important place in curriculum planning. So thank you very much to all of you considering and listening me patiently. So thanks to all of you.